Lucian Freud's Head of Esther and Head of Ib stand among the artist's greatest small-format portraits. Having all but missed their childhoods, it was through portraiture that Freud was ultimately able to build relationships with Esther, Ib, and their siblings.
Esther, in her early childhood, didn't really know her father that well. She only really reconnected with him in her teens, and it was always a really exciting time when she was going to see her father. Freud painted her 4 or 5 times. She was always very excited when she was going to the studio, and very much in awe of him.
Alongside his iconic self-portraits of this time, Freud began to paint his children again, more than a decade after his first paintings of his eldest offspring.
Lucian Freud, throughout the 1970s, didn't really paint his family at all. When he came back to them in the late 70s, a number of the children came into the studio and spent hours and hours with him.
Freud scrutinized every inch of their physical characters, the shape of their profiles, the play of light and shade across their cheekbones, the radiant glow of their skin, the sweep of their jawlines, and the natural fall of their hair.
This portrait of Esther is very, very special. And in fact, it's just one stroke in the whole painting that, for me, makes the whole painting. It's this little stroke of Kremnitz white in the eye that makes the eye suddenly come alive. Isabel's a very different portrait in a way to Esther. It's particularly around the cheek area. He's really focusing and almost dabbing the paint rather than stroking it.
Shown together and individually in almost every major exhibition of his work, with their tightly cropped format of 14 by 12 inches, the present works invite comparison with Francis Bacon's celebrated portrait heads of the same size.
I think the interesting thing is that much is made of the relationship between Freud and Bacon, but very rarely did he come to the 14 by 12 inch format that Bacon used regularly to portray his sitters. And here in these two paintings you can see that format. It's perfect because it conveys just the head and it shows the physicality of the head. You see Freud really lovingly building the surface, caressing the paint in an almost sculptural way, brushing the hair with his paintbrush. Through the studio, Freud was able to reconnect with his children, to get to know them better, and for them to understand who this great man was. 2 very tender tributes to a blossoming relationship between father and daughter.